Hey everybody, Neil Thompson, founder of Teach the Geek here. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. There are a couple of ways that I want to go over very briefly on how you can engage an audience when giving a technical presentation. And they have to do with questions. First, ask questions. During your presentation, especially if you're talking to a non-technical audience, it's really helpful to ask questions during the presentation just to make sure that you and the audience are on the right, you're on the right wavelength. You all are, they're getting what you're putting down, essentially. You don't want them to be lost during your presentation. And in many instances, people may be uncomfortable asking questions during the presentation. So if you're comfortable asking questions, please do so. So if, just a simple question like, does this make sense so far? And someone who perhaps it doesn't make sense may actually raise their hand to ask a question because you've opened the door to them asking a question. I think that's really helpful. But then once you get that question, answer it. It's really important to answer the question that was asked. God knows how many instances I've been in where someone asks a question and the person who's getting the question doesn't answer the question. It's almost as if they heard what they wanted to hear and they answered that question. But that's not really helpful to the person who asked the question. And if you want to engage an audience and people see that you're not answering the question that was actually asked, they're going to be less likely to ask questions themselves, and that's going to hurt the engagement. So when it comes to giving technical presentations, especially in front of non-technical audiences, you want to make it you want to make it comfortable for the audience to ask questions so that they understand what you're talking about. Of course, when they understand, they're going to be way more engaged. And then when they ask the question, you want to listen very carefully to what that question is and even repeat it back to the person just to make sure that you got the question right and then answer that question. And you repeat it back until you actually get the question right because you may not have gotten the question right. And then you would have been happy you actually asked the question, but asked to repeat the question back because, yeah, well, actually, I didn't get it right. I was going to answer a totally different question. And you don't want to be in that situation, especially if you want to keep the audience engaged. Hopefully that helps. Again, my name is Neil Thompson. I am the founder of Teach the Geek. I work with technical professionals so they can present more effectively, especially in front of non-technical audiences. And you can learn more about that at teachthegeek.com. Again, that's teachthegeek.com. Until next time, take care, stay safe.